Join me as I dive into some mind-bending time travel myths that you probably think are true, and I'll see if I can bust them all. Time travel, the concept that has captivated human imagination for decades. But with all the sci-fi movies, books, and TV shows, it's easy to get lost in the mix of fact and fiction. That's why it's essential to separate the wheat from the chaff and explore the myths that surround this fascinating topic. You know, time travel myths are everywhere. From the idea that you can change the past to the concept of a fixed timeline, there are many misconceptions that people believe to be true. But today, we're going to tackle some of the most common myths that need to be debunked. One of the most prevalent myths is that you can kill your own grandfather before he has children, which would essentially mean you were never born. Another one is that time travel requires a massive amount of energy, like the kind you'd need to power a small city. Then there's the idea that you can only travel to the past or the future, but not to parallel universes or alternate timelines. And finally, there's the myth that time travelers can never return to their original timeline. Let's dive deeper into the world of time travel myths. Take the concept of the grandfather paradox, for example. If you would go back in time and kill your own grandfather before he had children, then that would mean you were never born. But if you were never born, then who killed your grandfather? It's a classic example of a causality dilemma, and it's a myth that has been debunked by many scientists and theorists. Another myth is that you need an enormous amount of energy to power a time machine. While it's true that manipulating time does require an incredible amount of power, the idea that you need to harness the energy of an entire city is simply not true. In popular culture, we've seen time travel depicted in many different ways. From Doctor Who to Back to the Future, we've been led to believe that time travel is not only possible but also easy to do. However, as we delve deeper into the science behind time travel, we realize that it's much more complicated than that. Take the concept of wormholes, for example. While they do make time travel theoretically possible, they also require an enormous amount of negative energy to stabilize them. And as for the idea that you can only travel to the past or the future, but not to parallel universes or alternate timelines, well, that's just not supported by the current understanding of physics. One of the most surprising myths that has a strong grip on public imagination is the idea that you can communicate with your past self through a letter or a message. While it's a romantic idea, it's simply not possible. If you were to send a letter to your past self, it would create a paradox that would essentially destroy the fabric of space-time. The scientific perspective is clear. Time travel, if it's possible at all, would require an incredible amount of technological advancement and a deep understanding of the fundamental laws of physics. So there you have it, some of the most common time travel myths debunked. While the concept of time travel is fascinating, it's essential to separate fact from fiction and understand that many of our beliefs about it are simply not supported by reality. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment below with your favorite time travel movie or myth. If you want to explore more intriguing topics, be sure to check out my other videos.